Good morning. Lorraine Sish here with Coffee and a Card. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Baltimore area, and I like to share with you every Friday morning a live presentation of a card or two or three that you can make. I like to feature a particular stamp set and die, or designer paper, or maybe particular layout each week. And this week I am featuring gears and textures. These are the dies, and these are the stamp sets. It's a bundle from Stampin' Up! And you can see that it sort of has some elements that could be used nicely for masculine cards, but it doesn't have to be just masculine cards. Okay, we're going to try some out of the box kind of ideas today. So while people are hopping on, I'll just wait just a few minutes. And also, my desktop is a mess. I got stuff all over the place that I want to show you because this is one of those sets that at first I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that's really cool, but I don't know, it just looks like too complicated, too many things, too many parts. But it's really not because, well, it is a lot of parts, but it's easy because although there are a lot of dies here, I can put all of these on one sheet, especially with adhesive sheets on the back, and then I can just run them through my die cut machine, and then I have a lot of different things to play with. Whether I use them all on one card or not, that's another story, but I can certainly have plenty to choose from, and then just kind of go rogue, just kind of go crazy with it. I like to keep them in a little bin as I cut them. I have some here, and we're going to do more, and then I kind of have a go-to. Whatever I don't use on one card goes in my bin, and then I can pick and choose and kind of throw things together. Because of this sort of grunge look, it doesn't have to be perfect. So that's what's kind of fun. Just, yeah, thoughtfully kind of throw things onto your card, and it'll be fine. Really. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, oh, this is a great idea. Oh, that's a great idea too. So I just kind of go down the rabbit hole with it. And I wish I had more time to show you a ton more things, but you know, a lot of things kind of get in the way. Well, not get in the way, but there are a lot of things to do. So I'm having a stamp camp tonight. Stamp camp is just a class where we hang out, have some snacks, and do some stamping, do some crafts. I have little concerns with the weather because we have a slight chance of getting some light snow, maybe some freezing later on. So I have some of my neighbors that could just walk over here, so that might not be a problem. And then I'll offer tomorrow morning for people to come also. So after Stamp Camp, I will show you what those projects are. It is not with gears and textures. We're doing some other things. We're doing 3 cards, and then we're doing a Valentine treat holder, and just lots of fun. So I'll say good morning to people who are hopping on. Hi, Patty and Lydia, some of my team members, and Shirley. Nice to see you back today. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to remember that people watching from Facebook can't see comments from people watching YouTube, so and vice versa. So if there's something that I think kind of important, I'm going to shout that out and kind of let the other people know how the conversation's going. All right. Okay, so I see some people hopping on. Say good morning if you're watching live, and if you are watching the replay, please leave a comment as well. Ask me questions. Do add some comments, add your own thoughts. That's what you're here for. It's conversation, and crafting too, of course. But the purpose of live is to have that connection and to talk back and forth, right? So otherwise, like I've said before, you can just watch a replay, watch a video, which is fine as well. Some people like that. But, if you're watching, a lot of people just like the interaction, talking, sharing. And what I think is neat is a lot of you who come on regularly are starting to recognize each other's names and, having little shout outs to each other. I think that's really cool. All right, one of the other dies I'm using, where is the, hold on, I'm trying to find the envelope here. Okay, I'm going to be using, believe it or not, some of these dies here from Petals of Beauty, because we're going to try making a little bit more feminine kind of card with the Gears and Textures, stamps, dies. I'm going to play around a little bit. I have some ideas, and that one I haven't done yet, so that's going to be watch Lorraine go rogue on that, which is probably, you know, one of those one of the things. I hear you rooting for me, or you know, I ask for your input, and it's all fine. We're also going to add some hearts, maybe some flowers from the Be My Valentine and the coordinating punch. So we have some hearts there. We have some hearts and flowers here. So just to kind of add that feminine touch. Not that guys don't like hearts and whatever too. We can make the die cards with hearts for Valentine's Day too, right? Another one that I thought kind of goes with that grunge look we're going to try to work in is the layered thoughts, because of this kind of sketchy look to those sentiments. I think it kind of goes with the style of the Gears and Textures, right? So let me put those together. See, we have some you know, the speckles. We have the circle, I don't know, looks like a stain when somebody put something down on the table. We have some splatter. We have, you know, some crosshatch things. We have the lines. So, you know, it kind of goes along with this, you know, kind of random sketchy look too. So, like I said, a lot of ideas. You start playing and then they just come and come. So, hi, thank you for saying hello. Good morning, Gail. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at Stamp Camp. Nadine, wish you were closer to come. Okay, hello, Pat. Good morning. Oh, Erie, okay. All righty. Nice to meet you. You're probably cold up there too. All right, so good morning, everybody. Thanks for signing on and, you know, telling where you're from. I always get a kick out of, you know, how far we're reaching around and how we can all come together somehow, some way, even though not physically, we might be far in distance. It's kind of nice to be together here with you today. So as I'm kind of straightening up my desktop here, just curious, is anybody used the Gears and Textures or something similar? In the past, we had a set that had gears on it with cars. I'm trying to remember the name of it. If somebody remembers, let me know. All right, because I'm just drawing a blank right now. So I'm also going to show you a way to use the new Stampin' Positioner. The Stampin' Positioner is a kind of is replacement for what we used to have as the Stamparatus, but they had to discontinue that for legal reasons because it was similar to another company's product. So we are so excited to have our own positioner, and it has some features that the others don't, which is I'm going to I've shown that a little bit before, but I'm going to show again. And you know, there's some things that, you know, are really different and great about it. So I guess that's the whole idea. So I'm going to show you a way to do that. I'm going to be busy today. I wish you were here with me all day. I wish we could just sit around and stamp and just be in person, you know. So, but speaking of, April 11th, I'm having a retreat. Again, it's in the Baltimore area, just 3 miles from the Baltimore airport. Also train stations there. So if you live afar and you want to hop in and you don't feel like driving, you can always take advantage of BWI, which is right about 3 miles from the airport, and there's free shuttle service to the hotel. So, I'm moving things around here. April 11th is the retreat. Go to my blog, stampwithlorraine.com, and you can find all the information there. All right. It's a full day retreat. I do have a block of rooms reserved for people who want to spend the night before, because we start at 9 in the morning and we go to 6 in the evening. And people who spend the night Saturday night can have advantage of a little bit longer stamping because we have the room till later on in the evening. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Go to my blog. You'll find out all the information right there. Okay. All right. So hope you can join me on that. I am also going to probably be offering a to-go version. Not as fun as being there, but it's next best thing if you can't be there in person. All right, let's get going. I'm going to turn back to my comments. And all right, so here we go. We have Minnesota on the Zoom here too. That's great. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Whew. All right, I cleared off my area here a little bit. Okay. Let me decide what's going on here. I will show you. I'm going to tape down my grid paper because otherwise it moves all over the place. Okay, take a final sip of your beverage today. I like to use different mugs each time. I'm using my rainbow. I hope you have a rainbow day. Like I said, we're going to have a little bit of snow flurries, but it can always be a rainbow day in your heart, right? Okay. So I'll flip the camera around and let's see what we've got here. We've got a crooked camera for one thing. That's what we have. All right, let me move this over. Straighten out a little bit. Okay, so here are some cards that I've already shared. My Mojo Monday group, I did these cards with the gears and textures. If you're on Facebook, you would have seen those. I also used Nature Walk Designer Series paper, which are these really nice, very versatile Designer Series paper patterns. I'll show you some of these that I have here. Some splotchy looks, again, good for masculine cards or just non-frilly cards, let me put it that way. Some shading, some grid, greens, blues, a lot of different neutral things. Like I said, Nature Walk, you have those colors of nature in there, from crumb cake and browns and blues and greens. So really, really, I love them. They're, yet they could be, you could use this one for something flowery and, kind of cross over to different styles. Doesn't have to be all nature or masculine. Okay, so once you get going, you just start thinking outside the box. That's when the fun really begins, right? Okay. Whew. So let me grab, oh, by the way, just to kind of show you, I use this background. Notice it looks very crumb cake. I use that background for this card, but I just used my blending brush with some Secret C to give it that worn and kind of grungy, little dirty look, and stamped some of those images from the gears and textures, and then, of course, added some of the die cuts. But just to show you that this background started like this. Right, so sponging over, you can get different tones. It looks a little bit more grayish, bluish grayish, which was the goal. And then I just tore it to give it more of that rustic, grungy look. I add a little bit of copper embossing powder there. We're going to maybe try some of that today if there's time. By the way, did you plan to be here all day? I know I didn't. I had to get out to the grocery store a little bit and do a little planning, set up for class tonight. So, okay, class is in person, by the way, if you missed that before. It's not a virtual one this time. I do like both. It is nice meeting up with people in person, have some snacks, some hot beverages, maybe a glass of wine. So we have a lot of fun. This is what I did for Whip It Up Wednesday. I just took some vanilla, and again, I took those stamps, and I'm running out of room here. I need a desk with like 10 feet square, I think. I need one of those circular ones all around me. So I took the stamps, randomly went over a piece of vanilla, and cut into a strip, and used pecan pie, old olive, and pretty peacock. Just randomly stamped all over, layered it on peacock, and then a piece of that nature walk, and then the old olive card base. So that was super simple. Now this one doesn't have any sentiments, so you have to look to some of your other options for your sentiment, but of course you could do anything. And this was just the Kick It Up version where I added a couple of those die cut gears in silver. So, like I said, once you get started, you really get, all the ideas start flowing, and you wish you had way more time to play. Hey, good morning, Denise. Welcome from Canada. Nice to see you on today. All righty, where should I start? All right, I'm going to start with what I originally planned to show you. And then we'll kind of go off out of the box there a little bit. All right, so just have to make some room. Whew. My goodness gracious. All right, we are going to start with crumb cake base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at, everybody, 4 1/4. And you could always have it open at the top if you want. Have it 11 by 4 1/4. Scored at 5.5. Whatever, as long as you have this in the front, that's fine. And don't forget to burnish your folds there. Now, what's really funny is a while ago, but when I'm going to just switch views here a little bit. Let me switch that now. Okay, when I get into the project, I'll just do more full screen down here. When I was little, I remember people folding things. Like I'm talking about like in grade school, an art class, whatever. Kids would fold something, just go like that, and it wasn't a sharp crease. Even when I was little, that bothered me. I'm like, no, push down on it. Really make a nice sharp crease. It looks so much better than just some flopping it together. It's funny how kind of here I am, 50 years later, teaching people to make sharp creases on their folds. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I guess I was destined. Now we're going to take some of that designer paper, and this time, well, you know what? Let me show you where we're going first, all right? Okay, this is the card that we're going to kind of put together today. It's not rocket science. Let me make the screen a little bit bigger here for you. It's not rocket science, but I'm just going to show you a couple little tricks and ways to kind of get that to all come together. All right, so I'm just going to do a little bit different colors. We're going to go more with Secret C. I'm going to incorporate this scripty pattern as well. So just to change this up just a little bit. So you can do that too. Take a particular layout and then decide on what you want to keep of it and what you want to change. All right, so this doesn't have to be gears. It could be flowers. It could be animals. You could change the color like we're going to do today. So just kind of take, people say, I'm not creative. You don't have to have it all in your own brain, in your own head. Just find basics of something and then change up one or two things and make it your own, and it's all good. All right, so let's go back to our card. We have our card base. I'm going to use a piece of this. This is Secret Sea from the Nature Walk, but it's really, really dark blue, and it looks almost black. It is so dark, but I love it. It's darker than Night of Navy. But I want to make sure I use some of this part here that looks like a little bit more shading on there. So that means I'm not going to cut off the end, because otherwise I could just use Secret Sea cardstock for that. And I probably prefer to use the other side, rather than just the plain dark. But anyway, one thing about using the designer paper, it's a little bit thinner than cardstock. So if you have many layers on your card, you might consider just using the DSP. Designer series paper, by the way. Some people say, oh, what's DSP? I keep forgetting that not everybody knows that. All right, so I'm going to cut 4 1/4. Let me see where my 4 1/4 here, and my track is here. I'm going to go 4 1/4, no, 4 inches wide. Sorry about that. 4 inches wide, and then I'll trim the height to 5 1/4. So I'm kind of looking, bracketing in my mind where that shading is going to show up. So because you could see on the pretty peacock, we have the shading around here as well. Okay, different colors there. It looks like it was scuffed up. It's really kind of neat. So I will do that here. I'm going to have some of that showing over on the right this time. So do that. Save that for another time, another day. 4 inches. And then 5 1/4. So more shading down here. So I'll cut off from the top. 5 1/4. Did I say 4 1/4? 5 1/4. Okay, I'll even hold on to that. You can see even differences in the shading on the same paper even, right? I have a very bright light over here, so you're getting some true look at those colors. All right. That's going on to my card, so I see that shading there because this part's going to be covered. But easy peasy so far, right? The rest is easy too, trust me. Okay, it's kind of like, let's call it a salad, right? When you have your base of lettuce or greens of some kind, and then you just kind of look in the fridge and see what you can throw in there and how it's going to all come together. The celery, the tomatoes, the carrots, the onions, the scallions, if you like fruit, I like fruit in my salad. I like cranberries or oranges or apples, and then adding some nuts and some protein like cheese. I don't eat meat, but so that's I'm gonna get some vanilla because I think it's a little bit softer look than just the all white. So again, we can cut this whatever size we want. This just happens to be, I'll kind of go with the same. That's 2 1/2 by 4 3/4. Could be anything. It's not like everything is fitting on there. It's just going on there randomly, right? But just to kind of show you how we can do keep some things the same and vary some other things, right? Did I say 4 3/4? I think so, right? Looks it. Yep. Okay, 4 3/4. See, then that piece there that I just tossed to the side, that could be for my sentiment, right? That can fit right there. So you know what? I'm going to leave that someplace. There we go. Okay, so that's what we're going to decorate, and we'll come back to this later. I think I'll tear some of that and kind of put it down the side a little bit to add just another layer, another element. All right, so I'm going to go to my box, and I've already die cut. I got a piece of hair in there. Die cut some things in silver, and I have some of these pieces. This is basic gray. This was crumb cake that was brushed over with some secret C, so you can add, some shading to your pieces that way. And let's see, we can grab out, again, here's that piece. You can see some shading that I did, I hope, on there. Just made it a little darker than just the regular plum cake. See, if I turn it over, you'll see the true plum cake versus the shading that I did, right? So that shows up a little bit more. So makes that a little bit more interesting. And just because I have this piece like this doesn't mean I can't overhang my elements. If you see over here, I took this mesh looking thing and I use it sort of as a layer underneath my sentiment. Another thing you can do as you're die cutting these things out, sometimes when you're trying to fit many of them on a piece of your cardstock or your foil, some of the pieces might not fit on totally. I didn't let that worry me here. This gear here didn't fit totally on my paper. It hung off the edge. Therefore, when I ran it through, it had a straight edge here. But I did that on purpose because it didn't matter to me because it was going up against the edge of what was underneath it anyway. And another thing was it didn't totally fit over here. So this cog right here didn't quite come out, but it's okay because of that kind of grunge look. Some of these cogs and these leftover pieces could just be broken or worn, right? So it's okay. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of leeway here where you can just let it go. You don't have to worry about it. You're probably not going to want to do it with flowers if you have broken flowers or, torn leaves or whatever. But with this, you can do it. Just go with it and have fun. Oh, thank you, Denise. She said she loves my cards. She's going to run and catch a replay. Okay, thanks for tuning in a little bit there, Denise. Hi, Debbie. That's okay. You can catch the rest later. Good to see you back. All right, so let's see what we can do here. I'm not going to glue it down quite yet because I'm going to do some layout. All right, so let's see what we can mix and match here. Now, putting glue on some of these little fine pieces is a little bit of a challenge. You have to be careful to put some teeny tiny dots so that they don't ease through and then make the front of your card sticky or it looks messy. So you're going to be careful with that. So later on, I started getting smarter and started putting adhesive sheets on the back. And then because I have some in here that have adhesive sheets and some that don't, the ones that did have adhesive sheets, I just start putting a red mark on the back. I started putting A for adhesive, but then I said, it really doesn't matter. Let me just put a red smudge or something on it, like here. And that way I know that one has the adhesive sheets. If I look carefully, I could tell, but the back of the foil is just plain white. So it could be a little hard to tell. Is that an adhesive sheet or not? So I just put a little Sharpie mark on there so I know those are ones that have adhesive. I have one here that doesn't. Okay, yeah, so this one does not, and this one does. See, they kind of look the same. If unless you're looking really carefully and you know what to look for. This is a little more shiny. All right, so let's build. Let's just take some things out here and play. It's like I said, it's like a salad or like in the sandbox, taking out all the toys and seeing what we can do with them. All right, those. I'm going to be pulling in some gray and some crumb cake that I already have here. And we'll just kind of go with the flow. Okay, that one has regular. Just plain crumb. And, I think I have enough things there to play with, don't you? Okay. Actually, I saw that this round piece here can be just something standalone. It could be like a washer to something, but you can also layer it on this big gear here. So I think I'm going to do that because I haven't done that on any of the other cards yet. And this one does not have adhesive sheets, so it's okay. This one's pretty easy to add glue to. I'm going to try that. And I love my silicone mat for these occasions where you might get a little smudge of glue seeping through something. So rather than get it on my paper where it stays sticky, if it gets on my silicone mat, it never sticks permanently. It just can rub off, rub away. And if you really need to, you can run it under the faucet. All right, so now we have what looks more like a wheel. So that's good. We can put a piece in the middle there too if I have one. Let's see, you can always do that. That's a little bit big. You can do this one here for a more plain look. Don't like that too much. But there is another little piece in here, I think. That works. Here we go. So that can go there like that. I think I'll do that. I haven't used that one yet in this manner. And you'll see that the little cogs on here do match up to the spokes of whatever like those wheels would be. See, this has some red marks on it. So that tells me in a flash it's my adhesive sheet. So I can pull that off. Not that this is hard to put glue on, but if I'm running some, I may as well just run the whole thing, right? Okay, so I'm going to line this up with each of those spokes. Okay, and now we have a more interesting looking wheel. You can put that on there like so. I'm going to put the darker that has the shading for the Secret C across the vanilla so it adds more contrast, and the lighter part across over here where it has the Secret C. Right, that makes sense, right? Okay, now let's see what else we can do. You know what? Sometimes don't think too hard. That's what I'm trying to say. You can overlap some things. Ooh, that's kind of cool, right? These longer things you can cut. You can cut any of them, actually. And let's bring in, we have some gray. We have the crumb. We can overlap some of these things here. And if you wanted, you could add some of your stamping underneath, but I'm just going with a slightly cleaner look like this. But if you wanted a little bit more busy or more grungy kind of look, you can do some of your things like that. But we're just doing this to kind of mimic what we have here. Do you like that light bulb? Isn't that kind of cool? Like a little shop light hanging down. I believe I have some in here. Yep, here we go. Well, that part's silver. Don't want that. Okay, so here's the white. All right, and there are two pieces for the light bulb. So I just had that silver. Where was that? Oh, here's another piece I might want to use to bring a more beige. Oh, yeah, I lost it. Well, anyway, I have this little white piece layered on top of the silver piece, which is the same shape as the bulb, but then it has the top, okay, as like the top of the light bulb. Okay, so that is a fun way to use that. And then there is the stamp that stamps the filament on the inside. Now, I was just playing around. I really should have stamped that first, but I was playing around to see how that looks with the silver behind it. I've seen it also done in black and the white, but I'm going to try stamping that right now. It might work because it's all even underneath. Let's see how that goes. I'll get some, I do, you know, because this is a softer card, I might use, let's see, Smoky Slate or Basic Gray. You know, I'm going to just try it on my paper here. See what I like. That's not bad. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so there we go. Can you see that? Is it in focus? Oh, I should take my banner down. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so then when we're going to put this on there, we're going to want to draw a line for the wire hanging down, right? This reminds me of, makes me think of Thomas Edison. We visited his estate in Florida last time we were down there. It was really cool. Edison and Ford had homes. They were friends for the most part. And all right, so let me put that little piece back. Don't want to lose that. All right, and then we can put our card together. I want to leave room for the sentiment someplace. I think we might need another little piece of silver somewhere. Maybe put that in there. We have silver there, silver there, silver there. And this has an adhesive sheet on the back, so I can pull that off. Like that. Okay, that brightens it up a little bit, right? Don't you think? And then, if you want to get real crazy, the middle of some of these dies, particularly this one, has those little circles. And they are here. There are two of them right there. Use those like you would embellishments on your floral cards. You can bring that little bit more shine onto your card if you want to brighten things up a little bit. Okay, so your putty end of your pick tool is great for picking those up. And I think I will use them around there once I glue everything down. All right, so see how kind of just randomly throw it on there. I think it looks really neat. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I know where my light bulb is going to go. I think I'm going to put my sentiment across there like that. So my light bulb will go there. I'm going to take black marker. The other one I just hand drew. You could do that because maybe sometimes wire is wonky and doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Or you can take a little ruler. We'll do both ways here. And just draw your line. And then you can put your light bulb right like that. This one I did pop up on dimensionals. You can even add a little bit of yellow glow in there if you want it to look yellowy. Or you can make the bulb itself yellow. That's okay too. All right, so I guess I'll pop this with dimensionals as well. I'll use my minis. These are great for using your minis or your edges. Oh, was that a... Wait a minute, that one might have adhesive on the back. No. Okay, so that's really skinny there, so I am going to cut just a little sliver from the edge. Just like that. I'm even going to taper the top. go. Okay, made to order, custom dimensionals. And then we will pop that onto our wire, like so. And then let's just attach our other things, right? Okay, so since I've decided to overhang some of this here, then I will glue this down first. Right, hi Cindy. Do you love it? Oh, thanks for tuning in and commenting on that. It's different and it's fun. I had somebody say the other day, I didn't think I would like this, but I love it. I actually had a few people say that recently. Okay, so it's usually good to kind of plan out where this is all going to go. I'm going to have this come down from the top, right? And just kind of rebuild this. I don't remember how everything was, but it's okay. I think we're something like that. All right? It doesn't matter if it was exactly the same way or not. So let's start putting it all down. So you want to see what's underneath first and then have that down there. Oh, I'm losing my little rivet dots. So put that aside. Okay, there's plenty more where that came from. Let's see, does this one have adhesive? No. All right, so might be good to have your tweezers handy to hold that. And we'll put tiny dots of glue along the edge there. Teeny tiny. Dot, 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 not a lot. Okay, a couple there. Just smudge it if you can. You don't want it to pool up too much because then it's going to come out. And one other thing is good, that other things will be over it. And that will help hold it down too. Ooh. There we go. Had a hard time opening that. Okay, with the liquid glue, you have a little wiggle room to straighten it out. It doesn't have to be straight either. You can have these all wonky. Okay, but this one's going to have a little bit of right angles to it, I guess you could say. All right, I'm going to put that one down next. This one, no adhesive. You know, here's a little hint that I've been consciously doing. Very often when I use my tweezers and I go to grab something to put glue on, I'm holding like an outside edge. But then if I really need glue there, the tweezers are in the way, right? So what I'm consciously making the effort to do is to hold something like more on the inner part, like not where the cog is sticking out, but in between, so that if I want a dot of glue on that little cog or whatever you call it, then I can do that. Okay, so same thing here. If I want glue on the edge, I'm going to pinch it on an inner part. And now I think I want it this way so that I can see the more kind of rough edge, because my sentiment's going to go over that. So I will do it that way. See, I will want dots on the tops of those to hold them down. So my tweezers are not in the way. Okay, like I said, I'm not too worried exactly where that's falling. But I am worried that it's not sticking. There we go. Okay. Yes, Nadine likes using the reverse tweezers. They are very helpful. I have both here. Sometimes I prefer the regular ones. It's just more what I'm used to. But You know, sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, okay, think backwards. Okay, so the gray one's going to go underneath, and then this one's going to go over. So I will use that like so. It is nice with the reverse tweezers. You don't have to keep gripping it while you're gluing. Yeah, about there is good. Doesn't matter a whole lot, really. And this big guy. Oh, you know what? I should put this one up on dimensionals. That's what I meant to do there. I have a variety of stuff going on. Different heights and whatnot. This one's has enough bigger places for me to put the dimensionals, the minis. Don't have to put it on every spoke, so to speak. But we do want some balance. Okay. There we go here. I got them all. I got them all. Okay. There we go. I have a little bit of glue smudge here. Thank goodness for adhesive erasers. Okay, what it actually does is it grabs the sticky glue and kind of balls it up and rolls it off. Eventually, you can just kind of clean it by picking these little things off. Or they're cheap enough, buy a new one. Okay, let's get a sentiment on here, lickety split. And I will have, I don't want it to be mine. Did I bring a sentiment over? I didn't bring a set, but there's some over here, so hold on. Okay, let's have, let's do I Love You. I think that way could be a Valentine without being frilly or heartsy or whatever. Okay. I appreciate you. There it is. I love you. It's up at the top. And I'll do that one in Secret C. Excuse me. Plenty of room. Ta-da. Clip it off. Put it back. All right, I'm even going to put this right back in. Okay, and just like I did on this, I am going to just cut it at an angle. Like that. Now, if you want, or I could just leave it like that. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to leave one side as an angle. But if you really wanted it to be the same angle, then let me go over my mat here, and then you might see that better. Okay, this is what I cut off. You can just bring that over here and then use that as a guide to cut the other side so that it would be the exact same angle. But, you know, I'm going to leave it just like that. We're going to put one of those little rivets on there. I think that would be cute. Just to make it a little bit different. That's what I mean. Just change things up. You can decide as you go along. And that's usually when the best ideas come. Now, you can plan some things out. But then as you go along, you certainly can change your mind. Right. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Cindy likes that tip. Very good. I say different things at different tips at different times, and I have to remember that not everybody hears them all, right? So I have to remember to repeat sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to take those little guys with my pick tool. Put a little piece of little dot of glue. Actually, I'll put a dot of glue on here. That might be easier. And then put that down. So isn't that cute? I like it that way. It's like a little rivet holding that on. And let's put a couple others around while we're at it. I think I'm going to put something in the middle there. That's a little plain, don't you think? There. And let's grab another one. Maybe over here. Up there, I guess, would be good. We got those three. We can always add a couple more if we wanted to. There's my other one. I might put it in the middle of that, because I think that's just a little plain there. Look at that, fits perfectly. What do you think? All right, was that fun? Nice and easy. Do you prefer Peacock or Secret Sea? Both very similar, right? So just mixing up the pieces, using what you have, it's all good. So now let's, I know we're getting close to the hour, but if you don't have time to watch live, come back and watch the replay. Let's see what we can do with a little bit more feminine look. All right. So let me straighten this up a little bit here. I'm going to actually try, because I haven't done this yet. So it's always, okay, let's see if Lorraine can pull this off. Add to the excitement, I suppose, right? Okay, hi Patty, hi Michelle, nice to see you. Can't wait to see you again, stamping. And another creative, oh, very nice masculine, yeah. Yep, they are, but you know what, Debbie? Not for this, not with this. So easy. See how quickly we just kind of threw that together. And this could be good. A lot of times when you see sets for masculine cards, sometimes they might be golf or fishing or cars. I know this kind of ties into cars a little bit, but it's not. It doesn't shout, "Oh, you're a car enthusiast," or baseball or some sporting thing. Well, sometimes your guy is not into all of that, but yet I think even if your guy is not a mechanic or mechanical or crafty in the garage, I think this could still work. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind, and let's see what you can do for your gal. Now, a lot of gals are mechanical, and there's not stereotyping that only guys are into this stuff. In fact, I'm probably the more mechanical. Anyway, I have the fine motor stuff. My husband does the muscle work, and I do the detail stuff. So we're a good pair. All right, we're going to use some of the stamps this time, and guess what color we're using. I asked if you guys had suggestions when I posted that we were doing this today. I didn't hear any, but we're going to try Petunia Pop. Woohoo! And let's see what we can do here. Oh, I have my phone in the way. So I'm going to put a little bit of grunge on here. We're going to put some hearts. We're going to put some flowers. We're going to smudge it up a little bit. I also did some die cutting, like I said, from Oh, hold on. I need to put this back for my stamp camp class tonight. Okay, let me grab the, okay, so Petals of Beauty. I die cut this and this. These are standalone dies that don't necessarily cut out the shapes. Okay, and we're using this for camp tonight too, so I have to put that back. So I already cut these out. I cut some out of white and some of vellum. Isn't that pretty? I love that with the petunia pop. All right, now you could also choose to punch, well, not going to punch, but no, pop some of those insides out, or you can just kind of leave them in there to fill in. And so I'm going to wait and see. Now, I did use adhesive sheets on the back here because this is very fine. I did make sure I did that. And then some of the adhesive sheet got stuck onto the back of this, which is fine. And this is a good way to use to attach your vellum, because if I put glue dots or glue behind there, it's going to show. But if you do the whole thing with an adhesive sheet, then you're not going to see that. And this also has adhesive on the back. This one does not, because there's plenty of room for the glue. So we're going to put that together, sort of collage-y. So is that a... Okay, so we have a petunia pop base. We're going to have a white layer. And just like that, we're going to use a little sponging. So I'm going to get my petunia pop ink and a blending brush. Now I just have one brush for all my pinks, because when you're done with it, you can just kind of rub off the excess ink, and even though there's a tiny bit there, that's not going to make any difference with what I use it on next. Okay, even our lightest pink, like the bubble bath, this, it's probably close to bubble bath at the moment right now too. So I just have one for blues, one for greens, for browns, for red, for orange, gray and stuff and so forth. So let's just add a little bit of kind of background grunge here. Now, something else that you can do with your gears and whatnot is you can make kind of stencils out of these. All right. So let me see if I have one in here that is not foil, because ink will not stick to the foil. I might just end up getting my hands messy, but that's okay. It's okay. All right. I'm just going to go for it. So as I smooch a little bit of, I'm just going to use this here as my as my background. As I smooch a little bit of color on here with my blending brush, it's going to create a bit of a stencil look in the back. And I'm not even going to worry that I'm getting the whole thing or not, because it's just going to be, a collage-y look anyway. And, oh, you know what I could do? I could use the back. Ooh, then I'm not ruining this with pinks. How about that? There you go. I should have done that with the silver. Ooh, there you go. Okay, Lydia says, I agree. Don't have to be sports or mechanical. Makes me think of antique nostalgic. Yes, I agree. Similar to one of those kits that had the globe, the earth, the pocket watch pieces. Yes, I agree, Lydia. You're absolutely right. See, there we have hints of, the almost like some shadowing, whatever. Okay. See, the ink doesn't stick to the foil, so it's rubbed off and on my fingers, but that's okay. I'm going to do a little bit up here as well. Do some a little bit darker perhaps. Okay, I'm going to add just some little touches around. And then see what that looks like on the card front. All right, so that's a start. We're going to use some of the silver pieces as well. And let's see, let's get some chain, let's get a little gear here. And it's really going to be interesting. So let's also cut some of these gears and some of these pieces out of the petunia pop. So we have some silver and some of the petunia pop. Now I'm also going to kind of grunge this part up too, so it doesn't look too stark. It looks a little weathered, you might say. So I'm going to start off the paper and go on. Not that it matters too much because we're going for shading and a grungy look anyway. It might be hard to see. Oh no, you can see it. Oh, I like this light over here. And sometimes it's hard to see some of the things on the camera. And I'm going to be kind of generous in some spots and less in others. Because as we cut our gears out, we want some of that variation. Okay, so we got some of that. We're just going to die cut that. I'm going to show you how to use adhesive sheets for those of you who were not sure what I was talking about. Okay, so I have a piece of adhesive sheet here, and one side peels off more easily than the other, and that's the part that you want to put down onto the back of your cardstock. All right, so I've already cut this to the size so that I can put my dies across there any way I like. So I'm just going to pull off one part. This one has splits, so it's easier to pull off. I'm going to attach it. I'm just attaching it to the back, and then I'll pull off the other pieces. Now that I know it's aligned in the right spot. And then the last one, you can always just rough up the corner to peel it because it's just going to lay down anyway. So it's not like cardstock. You don't want to rough up the corners. Come on. Maybe you try a different corner. Here we go. Okay. Good thing there are 4 corners. Okay. I hung a little bit there. I'm just going to trim that off so it doesn't get my die cut machine sticky. And then I'll lay out some of my dies. I have my plates here. Okay, this one's very well used. Actually, maybe I'll swap them. I'll start using this one on the bottom instead. Okay. Adhesive sheet is down. You're going to put your dies on top here like you would normally do. And I've said this once before. When I put my dies in with the new packaging, I like to put them in front so that I see the actual size and the actual dies. I put them in front of the insert because these are not the true to size. So when I'm looking for something, I might say, oh, no, that's too small or that's too small. But then really it's bigger. So I like to see those true sizes. So that might be another little helpful hint if you like. All right, so let's see how many we can fit on here. If you're doing them, you may as well do as many as you can get, right? And let's get, I already have a chain, so let's do this. And it's okay if it hangs off because it doesn't have to be that length. You know what I mean? Let's just see what we have. Do that. Do that. Look how much you can get from a sheet. Pretty cool. All right, I'm going to do all those. Don't think I'll use them all, but they'll be ready to go for another card. All right, so you got to cover that, run it through your die cut machine. Okay, here we go. And we'll have more shapes to play with. And already have the adhesive on the back, right? There's my pencil. Okay, again, we have those little things there. You can poke them out or not. You could use them again. They're little diamond shapes. Use them as embellishments. These little triangles too, if you want. Especially since they already have adhesive on the back, you don't have to add glue. I like it. Okay. Back on my thing there, my magnet sheet. Right, thanks for hanging out a little longer today. It's fun. And I could still get some more little pieces out of that. I'm not going to worry. So even if you were doing, you know, the chain die, you can fit that on there. Or if you're doing one of the the gears, then it's okay if it hangs off because you can get part of that, and it can overlap your card or whatever. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay, show how to apply the adhesive sheet. You're welcome, Cindy. Okay, like I said, I don't always have time to do everything, but every once in a while I will try because not everybody knows that, right? So I'm glad I could help. All right, and if I wanted to, I think bring in just a touch of gray would have been nice on this, but not real sure about that. Well, look here. We have a little strip that maybe could be used on the inside of something. Has adhesive sheet on the end. I'll save that. Okay, let's see what we can throw together here and get the garbage out of the way. Oh, okay. Now on this one, I think I will try stamping right on the card itself. If it doesn't work out, you can always cover it up with a label, right? So I will try to do you know what, since I have to be my Valentine, let's just make it a Valentine card because we're going to put hearts on there anyway. And so I'm going to do Happy Valentine. And again, if I mess it up, we cover it up. Simple as that. I will do this in basic gray. A little softer than doing black. Let me make sure my pad is juicy enough. Yep, that looks good. Yay. All right. Oops, I got a smudge over there. Look at on my fingers. We all do that, right? Okay, Nadine, you can see the final look later. Sure. I'll be posting it and you can watch the end of the replay if you like there. Okay. One thing I'm going to do is add a little bit more pink to this. All right, to get a little bit on there. And yeah, I could even add a little bit of gray, a little more grungy, but that's okay. I just want variety there. Okay, see how that looks a little different. And see, I don't see a whole lot different on the wheel here either. This might be a little big, but we'll see. I want shading. So at first it looked like a lot when I was doing it on the rectangular cardstock, right? But it turned out I could still use more. All right, so now to put this all together, the pieces, the layers, the silver, the pink. Let's see what we can do here. What if I take, let's bring one of those bigger ones in here. And we want to bring in some of the flowers, right? Some of the leafy things. I'm going to add a little pink to that too. A little shading. Okay, start with a little bit. You can always add more if you want, right? And I might do a little more on this one and less on the more delicate one, just because it's easier. Okay. I think that's kind of coming together. Add some hearts too at one point, remember. All right, and then here is some of our vellum. Okay, again, like I said, the vellum, I wasn't sure if I wanted to double up on that or not, but I think I'll just go with the other, the lighter one. The vellum, you have to, if you don't have the adhesive sheets on the back, then you're going to want to tuck it under other things that will help hold it down. All right, so I'm going to have this more delicate piece, because it has adhesive sheets, I'm going to put it directly down onto here. And then this one we can pop up a little bit. This will add a little softness to it, right? So let's see. Again, you don't have to think too hard on it all. I'm going to use my tweezers to help hold that. I'm going in the direction of the leaves there, rather than pulling the tips up. Okay, so that's, oh, there we go. Hard to see that, isn't it? Okay, that's a nice soft look, even though it's kind of white or a frosty look on the white card. It's still, in person, you can see it really adds a nice shine. All right, I'm going to actually glue this one down. And then we're going to add some hearts around there. Add some more pink elements. Oh, adhesive sheet. Ta-da, look at that. I don't need the glue. Yay. Okay, there. Maybe we'll put that down there. And then I could bring a little bit of the white over here too, overlapping that. That would be nice. I can cut a piece off. Don't have to use the whole thing, right? Okay, I could use that. I was thinking of using the top one, but I'm going to use that. Right, I think I'm going to leave it white as contrast to that. And let's bring in some of the darker up here, like that. See, kind of cool. Kind of cool. And we'll need a little bit more silver in there too, I believe. So maybe a little of the chain over here, perhaps. That has adhesive sheet on the back, so that's good. Right, I'm going to snip that here. And I'm not thinking too hard on it, just putting it all together. Okay, so this will get glued down on the bottom, but then some dimensionals on the top. I could use some of the bigger ones on here. They fit. And I'll do that one too. And then we'll glue down the rest. So none of these types of cards are ever going to be exactly the same. It's kind of cool. Let your recipient know. They're one of a kind. Oh, that's right. I wanted that. And I'll put a little silver dot in the middle. Does this have adhesive? Yes, because we put it on the petunia pop. Look how quick and easy that is, right? Ta-da! All right, I'll put this up here. And then we grab in some hearts. And if you wanted, you can make this even more grungy if you wanted. I'm going to kind of tuck it under there just a little bit. See, coming together, kind of fun, right? What do you think? Oh, all right, good, Cindy. I'm glad, and I'm having fun with this because, like I said, I haven't done this one either. I haven't done a pink one, and I think it's really kind of neat. Okay, I'm gonna tuck that in. So it overlaps, show some layers. Ooh, looking fun. But I'm just gonna glue this down now so I don't have to worry about oh, you know, one thing I was thinking, there is the Petunia Pop ribbon. Oh, this is going to be fun. I want to try to bring that in because it has that metallic-y, that iridescent look to it. So that kind of ties in with the silver. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I could still get that. Ooh, if only I could get it underneath there. What do you think? Should I try? I have my tools. I got it in. I might want it a little lower. That's kind of close to the Happy Valentine's Day. I could always do it this way. Or I could just put a bow. Oh, see, I'm getting all these ideas. See, this is what I mean. You get, although there is a smudge there, so maybe I should try to cover that up. Let's see what I can do. There's always a way. There's always something you can try. I'm popping it in there. Look at me. Look at me go. Look at that. I did it. I did it. I did it. Okay, it does cover the happy a little bit. But you know what I could do? I can just end it over here. I can just cut it. I could do that, and it has that little bit of ribbon underneath there. All right, I'm going to give that a better clean cut edge so that the shine gives it a little more feminine look, and the softness of the ribbon. Okay, let's do that. See, these ideas just pop into your head as you go along. Okay. I'm going to put this down with some glue dots. I should use my tweezers again. I feel like a surgeon. Right there. Good spot. All right, now put one under there, and then I'll wrap it around the back so it stays nice and secure. Okay, for this I like to use my Seal Plus. I'll hold it down nicely. Okay, kind of neat, right? All right, I'm going to glue that down now, and then we'll add some hearts, and we should be done. I wonder if I should cover that smudge. Now, I'll think on that. Maybe put a heart there. That's what we could do. Okay, so I'm going to use some of those corners and stuff to cut my hearts. Again, this is the Bee Builder punch. There's room for a big heart there. Actually, again, it's slightly off. Oh, maybe I can get. Oh, I think I got it. And I got the little one too. Yay! Ta-da! That was a close one. Pretty good. All right, 3 is probably a good number, right? I think I'll put one right in the middle there. That looks adorable. We'll have this guy here. So nice to be able to peel these off. If you can get your fingernail in there. Here we go. Oops, I got part of it. Here we go. Maybe have room to tuck. No, because that was an adhesive sheet. All right, that's okay. I'll do that. Peel this one off. Put that there. And let's pop some out of silver too while we're at it. Okay. Let me grab my scraps. So you can always use them for something, right? I could sneak a silver heart in there. Yeah, I like that. And maybe even put a silver one inside that big one, and I think we'll be done. Now, if that doesn't scream feminine, I don't know. Okay, that's what we'll do. Most people wouldn't notice that smudge, but just because I know it's there, it bothers me. And it kind of adds to the layer look. Well, you know what? That one has adhesive sheet on it, I think. Yep. Okie dokie. Well, thanks for hanging out a little longer, guys. I do appreciate that. Okay, so there you go. Got a feminine mechanical looking card. All right, so one other thing, if you want to add, I think that's a glue smudge. I can get that off. Yep. Wink of Stella. You can always, this is a pen that has a brush tip to it. It has some like glittery paint in it, but it's very fine and delicate. So it could be nice to add a little shine onto these leaves here, maybe on the white. Okay, just kind of makes that a little more special too. All right, I think we're done. I think we're all good. What a different look, right? Is that awesome? All right, thanks, Gail. I'm glad you like that. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, I had to think outside the box and just try it. Just go with it and see where you end up. You know what? It's only paper and it brings you joy. It brings you joy to make something. Even if it doesn't come out all the way, don't get frustrated. Use what you can that you like about a card, and then you can always tweak it later from there, right? Let me clean up a little bit. I'll bring back all the cards. We'll wrap up and say goodbye. And you could be on with your weekend, and I'll get to the grocery store. And get ready for my staff camp tonight. Okay. So here we go. We have our little feminine cards. We have the card. We have the masculine card we did today. We have the one that we cased, so you could say, right? And then these were from Whip It Up Wednesday. Similar design, just popped up a little bit there. And then these were from Mojo Monday. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this another time, and I'll show you what I was thinking about using this with the new Stampin' Positioner. I'll show you that another time because we are a half hour over time. But I appreciate you sticking around and watching. And please leave me some comments and some feedback. Tell me what you like. And maybe, let me switch here a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'll keep those over there. Okay. Tell me what you like. Give me some feedback. I love to hear other people's thoughts and ideas. And if you are interested in our new stamp positioner, you can get it for free. I paid $49 for this because demonstrators could get it ahead of time. But now for February, demonstrators can't buy it anymore. You can only get it for free. Oh, darn, right? Free. You can get it for free as part of a starter kit if you become a demonstrator. So we have a nice big plate that we can put our stamps on and stamp and keep things right in the position they need to be. There's a smaller arm that can be movable and go in different places on your project. What's nice about this one particularly is there is no edge. So if you're doing even a scrapbook page and you have a large piece of paper, you can put it on here. Some of the other positioners have like a frame around it, so you can only do a certain size. This is nice because it's literally open-ended. All right, and the magnets are nice and thin and small and have these little plastic tabs so they're easy to pull up. So I will show you more about that another time, but so stay tuned and I will show you some cards that we can do with that. And I'm going to tie in the grunge a little bit too. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And if there are any last minute comments, I can look back on. Love the feminine version, Lydia says, and yeah, have a great weekend. Don't forget the thumbs up, Debbie says. Thank you. Thumbs up are wonderful, hearts, whatever. But what really, really helps me with the new algorithms that YouTube and Facebook have are comments, meaningful comments. I do love seeing all the thumbs up and all that, and that is good. But that's kind of low on the list as far as algorithms for the platforms pushing out. So conversation is good. Type a few words, say hello, tell me your opinion, and we can have a little conversation back and forth. And that really helps push my channels and my pages out to more people. So thank you, everybody. I hold tabletop of cards. Yes, I do. I am ready to go. All right. Have a great one, and we'll see you next time. Okay, Michelle says, "Go Seahawks." Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Have a great Super Bowl. I still have my Super Bowl raffle event open. So this is what I'm doing for every $50 order that you place with me. It's open-ended. Do 50, do 100, 150. Every $50 you spend, you get a place on my Super Bowl wheel. You get to choose the team that you want to root for, or you can even wait, hold on one second. I gotta plug in my computer. Over. Okay, sorry, battery running low. For every $50 you get on the wheel, you can choose Seahawks or Patriots, or you can split. If you have a $100 order, you can put one on Patriots, one on Seahawks. You can every time a team scores, I spin that wheel. Seahawks score, I'll spin the Seahawk wheel. Whichever name I land on gets a prize. Okay. There'll be fun prizes like embellishments, ribbons. As we get to the end of a quarter or the end of the game, you can win bigger prizes. So, and then next time Patriots score, I spin the Patriots wheel, and vice versa. So, the end of the quarter, whoever is winning at the end of the quarter, I'll spin the wheel. At the end of the game, there'll be a bigger prize. So whoever, whatever name I land on for the winning score, then you'll win the jackpot prize, which is a big surprise. So I will wish you luck for that. I have some people already, signed up to do that. You have to do this by tomorrow night, okay? That way I can get things in order and I know who's playing, all right? So definitely just place that $50 or more order with me and I'll be in touch with you, or you can email me the team wheel you want to be on. All right. So have fun, guys. Have fun. Be safe. And hope to see you again real soon. All right. Bye now.